Namaste. Welcome back to Monday Marseille Readings. And I want to thank you all very much for your questions that you have been posting. Please continue to do that in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get to your question over the next couple of weeks. Today, I'm going to be working with the Tarot of Marcella by Pablo Robledo. And this deck I purchased through Artisan Tarot, and I will leave a link to their website below. So a warm welcome to all of you. Let's get right into the questions, shall we? So the first one from a viewer is, how can I better manage my stress levels during these stressful and uncertain times? And I feel like this is a really important question for all of us. And if you have been following me, following my work, following my readings, you will know that one of the things that I say again and again is to sync your life with the lunar cycle. And simply what that means is when the moon is waning, to slow down. When the moon is waxing, put more energy into things. To know your optimal time of the lunar cycle. Sometimes that helps as well too. So if you know what phase the moon was in on the day that you were born, it is said that that phase of the moon is your strength. That is when you can make the greatest actions, planning. It will support you in every way. Okay, so that may help a little bit. There are, of course, lots of other things we can do to reduce stress, and one is to sleep. I can't say enough about getting a good night's sleep. But let's see how the cards will respond to this question and provide some clarity for this querent. And as always, I ask this message be in the highest, for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Okay. I see the four pentacles in the middle with the cross in the center. That does reflect a foundation, a place of stability, harmony, inner knowing. And I want you to acknowledge that your joy, your freedom flows from, grows from all that you have already built. So maybe what I'm saying here, or what I'm feeling, is that come into the attitude of gratitude. Have a look around at all the blessings that surround you. In this suit of coins, this suit of this material world, this place. And the two single coins on the top and the bottom feel like the expansion, the beauty, the adornments and the decoration that build on this place of familiarity. Maybe it is about decorating, making things a little prettier, expanding in a way that feels lighter. And often that begins with a decluttering, sort of a cleaning of the slate. However, I like that we have this strong base to start from. And look at how the beautiful leaves and those single coins expand from something that feels like a base. Sixes are a number of beauty for sure. Is there something that you've wanted to shift? But I would say to come back, maybe begin a gratitude practice. If you haven't done that for a while, that could be a gratitude jar. That could be just a very simple thing you do when you wake up every morning and say, acknowledge aloud what you are grateful for. You know, in the Tarot de Marseille tradition, the cards are generally read 1, 2, 3. So I think it makes sense that the Queen of Cups, the one who, it's interesting how the Cavalier of Pentacles. So let's look at it in a couple of different ways. Either way, the two court cards are moving away from each other. If we put the cards down 1, 2, 3, her back is not to the 6 of coins. So I think we might get, and the reason I do this, and this comes from way back in doing personal 3-card readings, is that I believe that the first card is really significant. It's important. And so the position that it falls in, I like to have it in the central place. So I'm going to leave it there. While the suit of coins and the suit of cups are both receptive, they are in alignment. So in a way, this reading feels kind of peaceful. It's not overly exuberant. In that way, it is in alignment with the waning moon, as it is waning right now. We don't have the new moon come around until, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or something like that. So that feels in alignment. But the Queen of Cups is highly nurturing and knows how to nurture herself. She doesn't question spirit. She doesn't question energies that move through her. She's kind of always looking at the mysteries and the magic. And when I think of what I said about that 6 of coins, and then the Queen of Cups appears here, I feel like she is. Do you know that expression, find the spirit in the mundane? I feel like that's exactly what she's doing, gazing at this goblet that she has stared at for years and years and years. And maybe you do have a goblet or a vase that wants to be filled with flowers, that wants to be opened, that wants to come down from the top shelf and be used and not just collecting dust up high. I feel like she's helping you to take action here and kind of expanding on what I was suggesting earlier with a Cavalier of coins heading off. Why? It's like she stays home and he goes out. She stays in your environment, and the Cavalier of Denier goes out and about. And this doesn't feel out of alignment to me. This feels like when you are out and about, you are curious and observing in a way that brings you deeper connection. And I think what may be missing here is connection. The reason that your stress levels are so high is that you're not finding connection. And so I can see the way that the Cavalier of Pentacles, the Cavalier of Coins, looks at that coin, the way that it floats in the air, it's kind of magical. So not only do you have a court that is going to help you nurture the beauty and the magic within and at home, but you have a court that's going to help you to see it and to be in it and to adventure into it outside in the world. All knights are on a quest of sorts. They are connected, and it's funny, I was going to say they're connected deeply to the heart, but it's the heart is the place where we seek to know and we seek to be and to understand and find peace. And you have a six, right? You have a six. Um, you have a six. It's hard with the cameras to point in the right direction. You have a six that also points to peace. I feel like he's taking those lessons and taking them out into the world. You could look at this very mundanely, and this might be a message for you to. I'm just thinking of that vase, and that vase, is there one on your desk at work? Do you buy yourself flowers? Do you find beauty and magic in your workspace if you work outside of the home? I'm touched by the alignment of the receptivity of these cards with the waning moon. There's a gentleness, there's a caring, there's a nourishing, there's a nurturing here. There's a curiosity about the magic and the mystery of this place where we live, both inside the home and outside the home. And if you were to set off on a spiritual quest, no matter how small or how large of a dream, what might that look like? And how could you bring a piece of that to life this week? And I mentioned sleep earlier. This is certainly a question you can take into your sleep. And it's most effective if you journal and you write down the question, and you repeat the question. Maybe you take a screenshot of the cards and you ask these honors courts, where are you taking me? Where are we going? We're going within for sure, but there's something really beautiful here. Okay, so look for the beauty, look for the magic, look for the mystery, and know that part of it already exists here. It's just a matter of you noticing it and finding connections with it. I hope that helps a little. Thank you for the opportunity to read. With this type of question, usually I do an A and a B, looking at the energy of staying and going, and then put some supporting cards on each of the positions. And I think I will do that here, even though for these Monday Marseille readings, I've just been doing 3 cards. I think the nature of the question warrants that sort of a spread. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and reflect on maybe the gifts of where you are now and anything you may not understand about the other place. Would it be better for me and my son to take the opportunity to move to a different area or to stay where we are? The place where we live now is okay, but the other place seems better in many ways, except a slightly longer commute to work and preschool. I'm a bit hesitant because of the commute. You really do need to trust your intuition here. Let's see how the cards respond to this question. Here, so this is stay, this is go. It almost looks like the Cavalier of Baton is leaving here. And you have a tremendous amount of fulfillment in the other location. Nine of Cups, three threes. It's a beautiful divine number. Threes build and grow. They nurture, they take care, they have a connection to spirit. Um, it's really beautiful. So, on first sight, I would say that your your words were it, the other place seems better in many ways. I don't at this point get a sense of any falseness in of that perception. I think we could read the Knight of Pentacles in, sorry, the Knight of Wands in two ways. One, that he is moving away from here, but he is also looking toward there and moving away from there. So we we could have conflicting information, but let's have a look. La Papesse holds a book. Books are highly symbolic of higher learning, deeper learning. And the Papesse looks at the Four of Swords, a window, a foundation of knowledge, of thought. Maybe she looks upon a place, a new foundation of greater knowledge, education, um, deeper insight for both you and your son. There's not a lot of swords in this card, and what we do see through the swords is the growth of a beautiful flower, a beautiful opportunity. With the Papesse, it may be true that not all things are revealed at this time, but I think she responds to me telling you to trust your intuition here. It would be nice to have a four of coins here rather than a four of air. But all fours do create, and in this particular suit, it's not a square, but a window opening, a window perhaps to your heart, a window that is showing us something new is flowering. Now, let's contrast that with here. There are a lot of swords in this card, 10 of them exactly, and we can't see through. There is an intensity to the 10 of swords. Tens, of course, represent change, so that feels like it's in alignment with the idea that the place you are now, the here, is ready indeed for change. And we have a 5 and a 10, right? So I'm thinking here, um, the 10 is a double 5. Tens can be problematic. They are places where we can also resist change because of the aspect of letting go or the fear of change. 5 of Cups. All right, so this is quite a beautiful card in the Tarot de Marseille. It is, as always, right? It's the middle of the journey. It is a 5. And we have 4 cups surrounding a single cup. The 4 cups are protecting something sacred. So, what are you protecting? And you may be, if you read tarot, if you understand the implications of the 5 of Cups in terms of other reading schools, you may be able to see the connection that's crossing my mind here. There is a resistance, or there can be a resistance to move away from a place that is known. And I feel like the Five of Cups is taking you out of the Four of Cups, if that makes sense. The Five of Cups is saying it's time to expand. It's time to move on. It's time to let to give that central cup some freedom. And the word freedom, of course, feels very much in alignment with the Knight of Baton, who is, I feel like, already on his way out the door. It seems pretty clear to me that the decision to move is one that is timely and in alignment with where you are going at this time. Is there any indication that the long commute will be an issue? I don't know. I'm intrigued with where I was going with the higher education. Maybe there is something that you can do, and now I know your son's only in preschool, but maybe there's something you can do in the car that you wouldn't normally do on a short commute. Listen to books, play word games, have an opportunity to talk to one another. Yeah, I feel and yes, we can get water energy and kind of powerful connection with Nine of Cups and Papes and Moon and in that way, I also feel that this change moves you to a higher place spiritually. That lunar energy and its connection to the goddess is one that might take you in a direction that you previously hesitated to go. So there's this interesting connection here for me between higher knowledge as intelligence and wisdom and higher knowledge as a spiritual insight. Okay, so sit with that and let me know your thoughts. And thank you very much for posting your question. Okay, so this question feels like the querent hasn't found the question yet because there isn't really a question here. So I want to help the querent find the question or at least sort of talk through the wordiness of the reading request. I would like to know what I need to do to improve my professional life. And of course, that is a question, but listen to the rest of this. I just started my professional journey as a clinical psychologist, but I am a bit older. I finished my degree at 40 years old, which isn't old for a psychologist. I mean, it has a sense of maturity and a command of respect that a younger psychologist may not be able to receive, right? Depending on the age of your clients, your patients. And long story short, I've been having some difficulty in finding a clinic to work because I'm too old. I think that perspective is probably because I am, yeah, I would I would kind of erase that sentence. You bring something to the table that a 25-year-old psychologist doesn't have, and that is more life experience, for one thing. So I started doing my work independently online, but I'm facing some difficulties, and I'm also quite sad because I truly want to help people. I want to do my best, but I'm finding it hard to attract patients. And you can also remember that is a play on words, patience and patience. Just just saying, okay? So, what do I need to do to improve my professional life? One thing that shines through clearly is to honor yourself, to respect yourself, to respect all that you have done to build towards this new career, to like yourself. Do you like this profession? Are you energized by this profession? You say you want to help people, but why? Why? Why do you want to help people? What is it about this profession that lights you up, that excites you? So is this question getting to the point? What do what do I need to do to improve my professional life? Maybe how can I see my professional life differently? How can I better understand why I have shifted to this career at this point in my life? I feel like a little bit more time in exploring this question, and I hope me just talking through this gives you some ideas for something you might journal about. I think there's something about the self esteem here that could, um, working on your self esteem, working on your confidence, friendliness, ability, and command of the room. There's more going on here. And I feel like this is something I could work with you over a period of face to face readings so I could better understand and give you more feedback. But I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say here. And as always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good and that no harm be done. So be it. Okay. I'm staring at the box here and I'm looking at this Imperatrice sticker on the box and thinking, this is the energy that you would benefit from commanding. This may simply be a matter of your ability to command, to take charge. Yeah. Okay. We do have a three of knowledge, a three of insight, a three of building and organizing knowledge. We have young buds expanding from sorry, not knowledge. We have action. Sorry, action. One thing I say to my tarot students is when you screw up and you start talking about the wrong card when it's a different card, know that there's something in that message. Okay, so this is fire, this is wands, this is action. This is the building of action. So the fact that this is fire is more in alignment with what I was saying about self-esteem and presence. Perhaps the young buds are the young you. It's a really odd place that you find. I mean, a lot of people do shift professions when they realize or regret not doing what they wanted to do from the beginning. And I feel like 40 years old. So if you think about the number 40, that's also significant, right? It's a four, it's a place of new growth and foundation. Okay, so let's look at this growth of fire, growth of action. Where to put these wands, how to implement these wands in a way so that they will take off. Suit of Wands does build career for sure. And it also, for me, always speaks to career being aligned with life purpose. And that is so much more important in the big picture than having a three of coins here, right? So three of wands is speaks more to your great work, your life purpose, than does a three of coins. Okay, so let's pull a couple more cards. I wonder if this combination of cards speaks to specialization. And when I think about the higher frequency of temperance, the red and the blue, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the finesse. It's almost like the temperance card speaks to your own personal journey that finally, and you say there's financial issues or reasons for delaying your career choice, but I feel like it is divinely guided and that you find yourself at this place now where you are able to blend the best qualities of yourself in this new career. So I think you can look at temperance as also the work that you have put into your own self improvement and self study to become a better version of yourself. And then I look at the Two of Cups and temperance. It makes me feel like you, as the psychologist, are helping others to see how issues in relationship are truly personal, are about self development, the journey of self to finding peace and love and harmony and happiness through another. This is something that comes up in tarot and tarot readings all the time. You know that most people do ask about relationships. And that is very fundamental as well to the work of a therapist, a clinical psychologist, that we are able to look at our own journey through the issues that arise in relationship. And I feel like this speaks to specialization, or at least a direction to give you for your marketing. And I feel like marketing is the Three of Wands. Marketing is what you're building in your career. And so maybe what's going on here is a lack of clarity in regards to the kind of clients that you would like to serve. And if you haven't thought about couples counseling at this level, this might be something you want to find your own words around. Usually, couples counseling is about salvaging a relationship. But what I'm saying here is you have a greater purpose to help people to become the best version of the person that they are. And that also reflects what I was saying about the self esteem and the way that you see yourself, that the kind of client that you would attract in advertising this kind of a specialty is also going to help you to see yourself in a new light. Okay, let me know what you think. And I do appreciate more than you know your openness, your willingness to post your question and your concerns. All of you today who have had a reading, thank you very much. And if you would like to have a reading over the next couple of weeks, please be sure to leave your question in the comments below. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.